All right, let's go. All right, what's happening, my fans? How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to 67, episode number 67. Welcome back, my friends. Good to see you all. Welcome. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's see what's popping in the chat. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, very nice. Let's see what we have with us today. We have a lot of things to cover. Kristan, good to see you, man. How you doing? Kristan, Danish. I am Manu. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. How you go? Gio. Werner. Kurt France. Yeah, it's good to see you. Johnny. How you doing, man? Johnny and Connie. George, what's happening, my friend? We got our coffee. Thanks for that. Let's make it a good session today here. We have a lot of things to cover. Okay, we have to look at gold. Gold has been dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Actually, no crazy retracement at all. No proper retracement at all. But we're going to talk about this in a second. Let's get the party started. We're going to make sure you guys are fully ready, rock and roll for today's session. And the rest of the day. Yes. Let's go. Yes, sir. Today is going to be a no news day. Not much news today, actually. We look at the news right now. At the moment, we have Trump. Or we did have Trump speaker beforehand. Apparently, I was not really aware of this, actually, to be honest, because it was in the middle of the night for myself. But today, we have the new home sales later on during the New York session. And then the day after, we have the PCE price index and the GDP. So tomorrow is actually the biggest news day event of the week. So we have to kind of see what we're going on here. But man, gold today and yesterday all day long. Where is the retracement? Where was the proper retracement? Well, the proper retracement came late New York. Look at that. We saw the pullback and then the continuation to the downside right there. And it never came back towards any of our areas before that low, I think so. We were very close. What was my level, actually? I had a level in mind. Let me actually see if I can find it right now at the moment. Where is my level? Where is my level? What was my level? 454. Where did we go to? 46. Damn. So we pulled back to the 46, but we never came back to the 54. So close, actually. But yeah, nope, we came down again. We kept going down again. And the question is right now, what is going to happen next? Because we are pretty oversold, if you ask me. And at the same time, we are also in that higher time frame support right there at the moment. Okay, we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge the fact that we are below the weekly low from yesterday, and the previous weekly low from last week. Okay, so this is kind of important right there. We took out the Friday lows yesterday, which was the previous weekly lows, and we took out the Monday lows. Okay, so we took out both the previous weekly lows and the weekly lows, and now we're taking again the daily lows, after daily lows, after daily lows. Okay, so let me know what you guys are looking at right now at the moment. I'm also curious to the chat, to the sentiment of the chat right now, because I'm sure you guys have done your homework already. Let me see what the chat is saying. Are we gonna go up? Are we gonna go down? Are you looking for longs? Are you looking for shorts from this area or around this area? What are you favoring right now? Let me know what you guys think. I'm actually kind of curious. Let's see what the sentiment of the chat is. Let's have a quick sneak peek right now to the sentiment of the chat before I continue with my order flow stuff. Let's see. Gold is in a weekly low. Okay. I feel upset that you were late. Yeah, me too. I'm a little bit on the late side today, around 15 minutes late. Had a long night of working. Major liquidations hit. There should be a bounce up. Okay, going long is risky. Don't want to trade against the trend. Going for long, but not until confirmation. Short. Ooh, there's a lot of contradiction here in the chat as well. Longs, shorts, you name it. Let's see. Dollar index monthly bottom around, sell, buy. Okay, Telegram is back in India. Is that so? Okay. Well, you know what to do. You know where to find me. Is it actually back in India or not? Can you actually join the Telegram right now? Is that possible? As an Indian? You couldn't do that before, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, let's talk about what I'm looking at right now at the moment, because yes, I can totally see what you are saying right now. We're looking pretty freaking oversold, right? However, at the same time, there are a couple of things that I think are crucial. Yes, I do believe that at some point we should be pulling back up a little bit deeper. We are back at like a higher time frame, support at this current moment right now. You can actually see very clearly here that we have been bouncing off of this demand zone very clearly. Actually, if you zoom in, you mark out this higher time frame demand, and look at that. We are reacting from a higher time frame demand zone exactly like that right there. Okay, that's actually a zone that we marked out yesterday. If you go to the 12-hour, you can actually see it even better. That this is that area. You see that where we're bouncing from. We're bouncing from higher time frame demand right now at the moment. You can see that we're actually holding that support. Okay, we are pretty over or undervalued again after that push down while being in the demand zone as well here. So we have to acknowledge that right now at this current moment we do have higher time frame support. We are also in higher time frame support, demand, etc. Here we might be trying to really trade the extension. Okay, but at the same time, if you look at the dollar has been just simply consistently getting higher highs and higher lows like every single time. Okay, even last time we have not really even been able to break structure whatsoever, and the dollar has been moving in a weird pace. To be really honest with you, the dollar has been trying to grind its way up. It couldn't break any lows. Look at that, not a single low, serious low has printed ever since pretty much the previous week. Even the previous week we didn't came down at any moment to break structure, and to have like a quick sweep back to the downside right there. We're just simply holding up steadily. Okay, however, every time when you see the dollar dropping, you think, this is the moment the dollar is going to dump, and then nope, the dollar is going to hold support, and the dollar is just going to continue to drive price higher. It's going to try to push prices higher. It's just going to find the next level of support right there. It's going to fall into that, and then it's going to hold that, and then it's going to go up again. This is what we're constantly have been seeing on gold, on the dollar the whole time. Okay, so as long as we don't see a big what we call sweeper, okay, I can't really trust a strong aggressive push to the downside for the dollar right now at the moment. Okay, looking at the way the dollar has been moving, let the dollar prove to us that it's actually slowing down and it's actually weaker. Because right now, every little push down is getting bought up immediately, as you can see already right now at the moment here. So I can't really try to say, oh, wow, we're in higher time frame support. So I must say that right now gold is going to push further to the upside. It's going to reverse to the upside because clearly, if we mark out the volume profile, and this is where things get interesting here. So let's mark out the volume profile. Not of the swing right now, okay? Not of the previous swing right here. No, but clearly above the previous day. Okay, let's just mark out the previous day right there. So we have the volume profile, fixed volume profile. We mark it out from the open of yesterday to the close of yesterday. So let's do that. And that shows us what we call the previous day, okay? Now, what would be a really good confirmation to actually say, okay, maybe we should be thinking about buying because we are in higher time frame support, right? Maybe we are literally there, bounce from higher time frame support. Well, maybe it would be nice if we could then at least break back above what we call the point of control of the previous day, okay? This is pretty much the level where the most volume has been traded yesterday, which is at 4,120. And if price really wants to go higher, the first real resistance you're gonna see right there is this area right there, right? You want to really break back above the point of control of yesterday. Then you can actually say, okay, buyers are at least back in control fully, okay? If you go to the order flow, look at that candle from yesterday. This is where things get really interesting because this is how we can really confirm a bounce to the upside or a continuation down, because this is just pretty much everything that we need to know right now. If you go here to the volume profile and the order flow, so let's go to the order flow on the chart that you see right here, okay? This is the order flow chart, and this is a daily time frame. So each candle that you see here is a single print of a single day. Right there, right there, right there, right there, all right? This is the Monday, this is the Tuesday. And now we're developing what? We're developing the Wednesday right there, okay? So if we go to Monday, where did price tapped into? It tapped into what? The point of control. And it sold off. Look at that. It set in the top wick on a Tuesday and it sold off. Boom. Perfect setup. Right there at the open, in the point of control, sell off. Today, what are we seeing now? Look at that. A lot of volume, a lot of negative delta, so many sellers in the market, obviously yesterday. And clearly price did what? It created and closed below this area where the most volume has been traded. So if you look at where the most volume has been traded, and you then mark out a box, you can actually see that we're trading below that, right? That is literally the point of control on the chart that you guys see right around there, okay? That is the moment where we are getting rejected from, right around there at the moment. Look at that, okay? Price stepped into that and it got rejected from it right around there, okay? It tapped into this right here and it pretty much got rejected at it, right? So I don't think that buying still is the best option, even though we are operating inside of higher time frame support. I hope that makes sense here. I think as long as we're staying below this area, okay, and I'm specifically talking about this zone right there. Let's just mark it out. The previous daily value low and the previous daily point of control, sorry. As long as we're staying below this area right there, I would not be buying gold, okay? I would not be buying gold. Let the market prove to us that we can kind of shift the daily and at least take out the previous daily range. Do something like this. Actually break out a point of control. Maybe have a retracement and then trade the retracement back up again. That will be a nice long entry because of the fact that we're at least trading above the point of control of yesterday. You can also see this right there. That means that we would simply have to close and break back above that, retrace, and then look for longs right here. And then target the Monday highs, okay? Target the Monday highs from there. But for now, I think the only thing that makes sense to me is continuation sells, pullback sells. I don't know what else to say. That's the only thing that we can pretty much look for right now at the moment. Unless we break the highs, I think I prefer to still be short biased. All right. Now, at the same time, this next candle is going to help us also with the confirmation of the short. Why? Because if you go to the hourly time frame, okay, this is the daily. We just talked about the daily, the point of control, the volume profile, right? If you have never used the volume profile before, then you can download my book in the description, and you can actually go to the trading warm up, and you can learn about the previous daily, right there, the previous daily, the volume analysis, daily volume profile, and you can go to the previous daily, right? This is exactly everything that you need to know, and why it's so important to trade and understand the daily volume profile. It has nothing to do with trading executions. It has all to do with bias, daily bias, and things like that. So you can learn about that right here. You can download my book for free. It's in the description. There we go. Boom. All right. So right now we're breaking down what is the next logical step for me. It's pretty much looking at this hourly closure. Okay, it's around 8 minutes now, and it pretty much going to show us hopefully where we will have the most resistance in this candle. Okay, because yes, I see a huge wick. What is this going to do? It's going to invite buyers to step in, obviously, but at the same time, this is where the most volume has been traded inside of the candle. Okay, and if we mark out the lower time frame and we look currently at the daily profile as well here, we're trading below the daily profile. We're in that gap, right? Pretty much everything is still leading for us to be more on the, we would say bearish side, to be honest. Okay, more of the bearish side. So what I'm willing to do now is wait for the hourly closure and set my limit order. If we close below this area right there, I'm going to set my limit order pretty much immediately around the 4102 on futures, which is going to be, let me see, 402 on futures. That is going to be, and I need to look at where the futures chart is at. The 402 is, yeah, it's pretty much the same level, no? The same level. The 402 is the top of the wick. It's pretty much the top already. It's going to be very aggressive, you would say, sell limit. Yeah. Okay, hourly closure. If you close below the 402 on futures, then I think that we could pretty much put a limit order immediately at this area right here. Okay. Yeah, I know it's going to be super aggressive, but I think it aligns with what we're currently looking for. So let's see if we actually are able to close below that, and then we go from there. Okay. The valuation index is oversold right now, or overvalued. We see this right there against the dollar. So this is also another confirmation, and at the same time, the hourly closure will help tremendously with setting in the top wick of the hourly candle as well. And then I think we have everything covered right there, if I'm not mistaken. Anything that I'm missing out on? Nope. High volume closure, daily, right? Higher time frame bias, hourly closure. I think we got it. All right. Okay. Why are you late today? I've been working on something in the back end, something I cannot talk about. And I've been spending all night building this thing, literally all night. Okay. So I had a couple hours of sleep, and here I am, back in action. Yeah. What are we waiting for? Waiting for hourly closure. Yeah, hourly closure. It's actually super important to see where we close this candle. And if we close it below the point of control of the hourly candle, because that's just going to show probably we're going to face a lot of selling pressure. And stop loss then should be, for me, a little bit higher though, above the hourly high. Actually, the hourly candle high. I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see. We're still bearish, and if we are actually going to flip bullish later, I'm cool with it, but then at least let price then break all the way back up and break the point of control, retrace, and then look for continuation longs. That makes the most sense, okay? That makes just the most sense. So it's going to be probably a little bit more aggressive, but also more scalping orientated. because we're in higher time frame support already, roundabout. But like that would be a nice long. If we would break above this, I think that makes the most sense, because then we can target the Monday range right there, okay? The range that we created beforehand, which is this range, right around there. But that's not what we're gonna do now. At least what I'm not looking for, I'm looking to short. As long as we stay below, I'm looking to short below. Let price invalidate me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But then I'll probably wait for the larger break up if that's the case, and go from there. But we have a couple of zones that we have to watch. The hourly high is pretty much where most of the resistance is at as well here. So we have these two zones that we have to watch very, very carefully. Let's see what happens in 3 minutes. We really want to close below this box. I really want to close below this box. I really want price to see that we can close below this. Yeah. Yes. If you guys want to help your brother out, then, you know, you could smash up that like button. That would be amazing. If you guys like the Asian sessions, I hope it helps a little bit also with your analysis, right? And your overall understanding of bias maybe as well. So if you appreciate that, then please smash up that like button for all the free stuff, free education and stuff. That would be very helpful for me as well. And I started the Asian session around, I think, a week ago. And it was amazing. I loved it. All right. I'm enjoying it so far a lot with you guys. So that's going to be awesome. I really do. I really do. Really do. There we go. RRS Photo says, I was told to never trade Asia. Who told you that one? No, they tell you to trade the New York session when Trump is speaking every day. That's how they tell you. Like, no, you need to trade when Trump speaks. And you need to trade when the New York Stock Exchange opens at the same time. And hey, wait for the new home sales. Wait for this. Wait for the CPI. Wait. Wait for the NFP. That's actually pretty good, man. It's better than much better than I also anticipated. Because I was also used to Asia in 2023, and that was just like, this was pretty much the Asian session. Every Asian session was pretty much like this. Then the London swept the highs or lows, and then the New York did the reversal. That was trading gold in 2023. Okay. In the Stone Age. All right. Now we're closing above. It could be that we close above it. If we do close above it, then we have a little bit of an issue here, because then we have to look at our next zone. And that is this area right there, the hourly highs. The reason why I use the order flow right now is because it's going to be extra important now to look at it, because we are literally in higher time frame support, but also bearish. On the lower, we don't really have the reversal. So wait for this closure in like what, 30 seconds. Then we know where we close. And then we know, then we know. Okay. Yeah, we have this box there too. We have to watch it. We have to watch it. 113. Yes, we closed. We did close. All right, then we can't look at this box right now. We need to look at the hourly highs. We need to look at the hourly highs again. This is the main area. Yeah, it's actually super interesting right now because we did close above this for the first time. Above the point of control of the hourly candle. All right, most volume has been traded in this candle. Super bearish on the 15-minute. Well, we might be make a little bit of a pullback though, man, to be honest. Like a little bit of a pullback up right now. Because the hourly closure actually showed this too. We might be making a little bit of a pullback. Yeah, yesterday we set out all our levels multiple times. We came back to the 4146 eventually and we sold off again, but man, not a single retracement yesterday, just one big bleeder. One big massive bleeder throughout the Asia, London. Serious. Sometimes it happens, man. Like just no proper pullback into the levels. Even though the bias is so obvious, obviously. Tina, good morning from South Africa. Good morning. Good morning. In terms of the large orders, they're all sitting below. Look at that. Big orders still sitting below and not above. Where are the big orders above? They're not there. Look at that. There are no orders there. All the orders are sitting below right there. Look at that. Still, till this day, all those orders are sitting where? Right where they have to be, and that is lower. Okay? And that is lower. Oh, that's a strong flip though. Yeah, right into the zone, correct? Yeah. Obviously, any closure below, right, this area, if we close below this level, it's game over for gold. Gold is gonna dive deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Why? Because this is where those buyers stepped in. So this is actually a support area of support. I mean, even though, right, the clear buys are going to be above it, because this actually means that we're shifting above and breaking above the point of control of yesterday, right? And that's going to be potentially a pushback. So that's going to be the first official clear type of retracement. Because if you then break out and you close back above and you get accepted inside of the value area of yesterday and you pull back, then this is the perfect area for longs, right? However, right here, there is an absorption taking place right now of buyers, of sellers, sorry. And there are buyers stepping in right around this area too. It could be that we hold this and respect this. And that's why it's so tough right now in this session at the moment to make a clear decision around buys or sells here, because the trend hasn't shifted. We're bearish, but we're seeing the absorption now. and we're in the higher time frame support. But the real reversal of where buys take control is when we break back above the highs break back above the point of control of yesterday. So you're kind of in between higher time frame support right now and a lower time frame bearish trend. So this is what makes this trading session, this Asian session, a tougher session in general, because of the fact that we're still in between these two zones, in between these two ranges. We could be going down and push down lower, deeper into this higher time frame support, but we can also be absorbed now, as we're already seeing right here on the 15-minute. A lot of buyers stepping in, candle closing above, and respecting that area, right? So watch this level very closely when I show you right now what happens here, so you can actually see it in action. What do I mean with this? Because specifically this level right here, let me show you the 15-minute, and then the 103 is the 086. So 4103. 4103 minus 486. 17 points. Yeah, watch what happens when price indeed taps into the 80. Okay. The 80. Going down to the 11. $71, sorry, 71. Okay, I think I'm gonna try a little bit more of a risky approach here today. I think I'm gonna try something here. But it's gonna be quick in and out, I guess. We're super flat here. Yeah, watch what happens in this box here. Honestly, I think of taking a quick scalp buy here, and I'm not joking. I'm actually thinking about it right now. And then stops below those lows. Yeah, below the lows for sure. 91. Man, that's a tough session. Higher time frame, daily super bearish. The overall daily weekly trend is bearish. We break below the point of control of yesterday. We actually retraced and got rejected at it. That's bearish. But the higher time frame is in a major support right now. And we are reacting from it. And we're seeing an absorption taking place at this moment right now. If it's longs, it's a quick scalp here. This is much more conviction. This is where you can hold trades longer, target bigger moves, bigger highs, etc. But shorting here now is just also very tough, very tricky here. It's very tricky. Yeah. This could absolutely be a bounce, a quick bouncer right now. It could absolutely be a bounce around this area. Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing it already. You see that? We see it already. Yeah, obviously this will be the target again. Also there in general, that is just the major resistance now. It's the highs of the candles. So it's the it's pretty much this zone right here. This is pretty much the levels that you have to work with right there. That's pretty much the only levels that we have right now. So tight, so tight. Where's Jay? What's happening, my friend? How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, okay, we are tapping into the box. Yeah, watch what happens inside of this area right now. Very tough. Yeah, what did we see? We saw a breakdown. We pushed back up. Okay, cool. Breakdown. Huge expansion to the downside. Huge retracement. Taking out the highs again. Now going down again. So it looks like it, from a structural standpoint, it's simple. We're just thinking, okay, we're going to go for the lows. But then the difference between this initial push here and this push here is significant. Yeah, another bearish closure. Yeah, you can't long here either, Net. You cannot do that. Not possible. We can't long here. We close below this level here. We can't long it. I was very close to taking a long here, to be honest. But there's just too much selling pressure also right now again. To be honest, guys, I really think that right now at this moment, we're kind of in a no trading zone. Because we're in between two zones. We're in between buyers and sellers right now at the moment. We're really overextended. We're definitely bearish still. Yeah. Did you stop trading Forex pairs? Yes, I did. Already a long time ago, actually. And just focusing on gold right now. Really, already for a long time. Really dedicating myself to one asset. I like it the most. No distractions for now. Yeah. Entry, no entry, nope. Not an entry at the moment. Not an entry at the moment. No, I was thinking about even a quick buy, but there's just nothing to do now. Nothing to do here, in my opinion, at the moment. The main reason is simple, right? We just had a major push down. We're below the point of control of the previous day. I saw a little bit of an absorption, but if you don't see the impulse move, there is no reason to buy because it's just too risky. Too risky in this trend to try to predict the bottom here. Yeah. Way too risky right there to buy right now at the moment. We really have to see a big impulse, in my opinion. Lorenzo, I've been here quite a few times and I see there's not much about news you talk about, but I was wondering how much do you take news in account? I mean, in the New York session, the only thing I did, was talk about news all the time because it was super relevant. Right now at the moment, it is not as important because we don't have these unexpected events that we have in the New York session, for example. So that is the key difference. In the New York session, we talk about news all the time because we kind of are forced to, okay? When it comes down to like the major economic events like the FOMC, CPI, NFP, we always talk about this anyways. But from a geopolitical standpoint right now, there's so much manipulation happening. Trump said it himself. He actually said it himself. I wish I could find that clip, because if you watch that clip, you understand that it's all one big mess, one big trap. Okay? I wish I could find that statement right there. He literally said, yeah, when the market goes, when we say something good, the market goes up. And when we say something bad, the market goes down. I love the market. I love the market. We love the markets, don't we? Yes, we do. Yeah, something like that. But anyways, that is clearly, he's super aware of the fact that their words have major impact. And if you know that, then you can leverage that. You can utilize that in your favor. So again, it's all one big scam. It's one big scam. I wish I could find that video right now. You would think, if you haven't seen it, you would say, wow, okay. Because it's one thing knowing it, it's another thing hearing it from the president, obviously. Yeah, so today, a little bit of a tougher session in my opinion. A little bit of a tougher session today. I think last week was an amazing week. We had win after win after win after win after win. Win after win. Win, 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 win. And I'm not joking when I say it. Win after win. Yesterday, selling zones, no retracements into our zones whatsoever. Every pullback, no pullback, just continuation, just like a dead bleeder. And it has to do with the dollar, 100%. The only pullback came into late London, actually. But when we looked at Asia, slow bleed, late London pullback. But then also, the pullback was not great. The first impulse, push up again. Then New York came, it pushed up again, and then it made reversal back down again. Then we broke structure, and then we kept selling off. But today is a tough one. The reason why is because we're just in higher time frame support right now. On the 4 hour, you can see it actually very, very clearly. This is that level, okay? It's this level. It's the 4171. That's that level of support, the 71. Okay, if you go to the 4 hour time frame, and we put this on the lower time frame, right here. We're literally in that higher time frame support. And this is where we are reacting from. You see that? We're kind of bouncing from this level right now. So it's really hard to say, listen, I want to buy here because the market is so bearish. But at the same time, do I really want to sell straight into that support? And we might as well just bounce here again. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. We might as well just bounce here again. But the question is, would you be willing to buy here? That's the question. And I think it's a really tough question for many people to answer. Like, are you willing to buy around this level because of the bearish trend we're seeing here? In the end, I'm here to trade. I'm here to win, right? Last 2 weeks actually was a prime example of that. We pretty much every setup that we took last week was simply waiting for the right setup, playing out, pulling back, and just executing clean freaking trades. So what I think needs to happen, we need to either lose this level, we need to break the low aggressively, Because if we break this low aggressively and we pull back, then I think there is a chance that we actually are going to try to hit the lows again. Because this is that final level of support. I was looking at it. Then we might just indeed go for the lows at 25. All the way back down. And we're going to target those lows and take out those lows. Then I will be much more confident if you can break that support right there, that we will actually try to lift lower, even here, right? We break it, and then we still have around what? I think this is like a, whatever, huge push down, right? Still, there's so much potential further to the downside. But right now, we're at that support. Did the NFP and FOMC prove to be the final nails in the coffin for buyers? 100%. 100%. Yes, correct. If you go to the 4-hour time frame and you look at the NFP, this was the NFP candle. I analyzed this candle deeply. The 4-hour, I analyzed it deeply to really understand what's happening here in this 4-hour candle. And the amount of volume that was traded in this candle was insane. 81,000 contracts in the NFP. And all the volume that was traded at the bottom. Most of the volume. That's the crazy part. So usually when you see a news candle, a lot of volume gets traded at the top of the candle. Then it makes the move, right? But in this case, it actually was the opposite. So when the NFP came out, most of the volume was traded in the end when the candle closed at the bottom. And if you close below that candle, that is bad. That is bearish. That is really bad for gold right there. And that's exactly what we did, right? We pulled back. We couldn't break above this for numbers of days right there. This was the day after the NFP. Couldn't break above that high volume there. Couldn't break it, couldn't break it, couldn't break it, couldn't break it. And then again, a couple days later, we pushed into that same level again and we couldn't break it. We couldn't break it here. We couldn't break it here. And then the FOMC came out. NFP trapped everyone believing we're going to break out. And then the NFP came out. The FOMC came out. And then this happened. Huge push down again. In this candle, it was the opposite. Look at all those trapped buyers here. And these buyers became what? These buyers became resistance. And then we sold off. So the FOMC was the nail in the coffin. Like you said it, my friend, you are completely correct. The FOMC absolutely crushed gold. And the NFP. Ever since then, we have never been able to recover. And on the chart, it looks very straightforward. On the chart, it was just a basic, huge resistance that was created by the NFP right here. And then the FOMC came. Sorry, not there. Right here. And then the FOMC came. And then boom. We had the manipulation and then the huge sell-off. And we never broke structure actually for real. And the lows are here. Okay, these lows are sitting at the bottom. So the question is, are we going to now go for those lows, right? Are we going to go for the lows and the origin? Are we going to try to break further to the downside? Right there. And it could totally be the target, right? Targeting the lows. The 23, the 20, the 4,000. Right below here, okay? It's a total reasonable target now for gold, now that we failed to take out the highs during the FOMC, the NFP, and are now aggressively pushing back down. A huge drop again yesterday and on Monday. Yesterday, sorry. And now again, right? That's in my opinion the target that we're gonna look for, the lows, okay? But we cannot neglect that right now. We are in a tough spot today, or at this moment, because of the fact that we are pretty much at support now on the 4-hour. And it's a tough cookie to crack, let's put it this way. For good quality, clean quality setups. What I just want to see now, in my opinion, is a dump, a pullback, and a continuation. Like that's pretty much the only way. Sell continuation, big down pullback, push down, targeting the lows, the 20s. And yeah, not buying there, right? Clearly in a bearish market right now. There's no reason. It looks tempting, but it's not worth it. It looks tempting, but it's just not worth it. Let's mark out the volume profile here. Let's see what we have. The very low, right? Yes. Yeah, this is the big low. This is the weekly low. All right, that's the wick. All right, that is the wick of the day of Wednesday, the 11th of June. So 11 days ago, that is that big level. And we might actually trade there, to be honest with you guys, after failing to swipe these highs, failing to break above those highs, targeting those lows. Yeah, I think this is what we're looking for, to be honest. I think that's what I'm willing to do here, is just try to trade the continuation and pullback. And just use this level as a as the major area. And the low volume node here. Yeah. Selling zone. Now we've broken structure as well, right? So that makes the difference. 4181. 418. 83, 82, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna stick with this. Right now that we're breaking down, we're closing as well below. No signs of buying here. Closure below this level is 1 to 50 minute. So yeah, that would mean something like this right there. 82 would be the ideal level. It's roughly around this area, let's put it this way. Actually, it's a bit higher. Because the 82 is here. And not the 82 for sure, but like, yeah, the 82 I would say. Yes. Yeah, we're breaking down below as well. We're gonna probably go for the lows. Geez, that would be an absolute crazy move, by the way. If we go absolutely for those lows eventually, that would be crazy. But it looks like we could, to be honest. I actually put a wider stop loss as well, but it's because there's so much room. to be honest, it's possible. Because the target is so big and it makes so much sense. Wow. $106 minus 17 is 4100. 4100. Yeah, exactly. It's not that big. Yeah, we're gonna stick with this area right now at the moment. Why? Because it's the very low of that range. Okay, it's the very low of that range right there of the swing. Sorry, not the range, the swing profile. And I think we're gonna potentially any pullback after now that we have closed pretty much below the zone. And we have taken out this low. I think it allows us to pull back into this area. And then find the good setups. If we're patient and we pull back, then that's in my opinion a good level to wait for. So yeah, let's simply stick with this right now. At least I'm going to stick with this level. Just going to do it like 82. Okay, let's see if we pull back for this setup. And with weekly low, I don't mean the weekly low. I clearly mean the... is it the monthly low? It's the monthly low, right? It's the monthly low. Yes, the monthly low. Actually, sorry. The monthly low. Monthly lows. Yeah, okay, now I like it more. If you can break your, we can just keep moving the profile down. Actually, wait for that proper retracement. Why not just take the sell now? This is always the risk, right, of losing out, of missing out. But that would simply mean this. All right, so that means that I have to put my stop loss there because that is still where the stop loss could be because a pullback is possible. Right, that means I would do something or have to do something like this, for example, right? And that means that my target is there and my stop loss has to be there. And it can't, in my opinion, be here because the chance of pullbacks are just too big. So that means that if that would be the case, right, that I only have a one-to-one. And that means that I have to be right 60-70% of the time. Let's say 75% of the time to make good money. Whereas if I would wait for the retracement, this turns into a 3-to-1, a 4-to-1. If you take profits, it turns into like a 2.5-to-1, a 2-to-1. right? Now you only need to win 40% of the time to break even, 33% of the time to break even. And if you then win 60% of the time, you make really good money. 50% of the time, you make really good money. I hope that makes sense. Because the stop loss needs to be where the stop loss needs to be. And it can be, oh, I'm going to put my stop loss at 20 pips, 30 pips. Why? Why? Because it's 20 pips, 30 pips. That's your standard stop. I personally don't like it myself. Maybe I like it more when, you know, when there is clarity around the level that I can kind of feel protected at, right? Something like that. But it's just a risk to reward play right now, man. That's it. And I like the retracements. I like retracements a lot. Because retracements happen. And they could happen. And continue to happen. So I like retracements personally. I'd rather wait for that. Yeah. Stock Sniper Trading says, shout out to you and your community. Shout out to you and your community, my friend. Always watching, always enjoying your input. Hope you're doing well, my man. And congratulations with the 100K. Let's do a big shout out to the Stock Sniper Trading. We reached 102,000 subscribers on YouTube. Nice. Hard work, man. Hard freaking work. Respect. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. Retracements are big in the New York session because the institutions, how prevalent are they in the Asian session? That's a good question. Well, you see it multiple times today, right? Yesterday, I cannot say the same thing. Sorry, it's true. Yesterday, sell after sell after sell. That's why I was like, wow, like there is no single retracement in my areas, in any of my trades, any of my areas right there. That's why I marked out my zone for you guys and it just didn't pull back. This one did. This one did. This one actually did perfectly, right? We had our sells there on a Monday. This was Monday. Monday stream setup. We had our sells there. And price did step into that. And the day before, I made a breakdown, a video analysis. What's happening, Telegram? How are you guys doing today? With this resistance right there during Asia. And it did make the pullback. You see that? So if your question is, does it pull back? It definitely pulls back. Yeah, it definitely pulls back. Look at all those trades. What's happening, Telegram? Pulls back, right? Pulls back right here. No, it definitely pulls back, my friend. It definitely pulls back. But yesterday it did not. Okay, yesterday it did not. Yesterday I couldn't get into any freaking trades because of that. But yeah, it's that's the game, man, right? You have a strategy. You commit to the strategy, and you know, if the strategy works, then you just have to keep doing that. Keep following up with the strategy, and you're gonna get periods where price is just as clean as butter, and then you have periods where, you know, you're not always get filled or whatever the case may be. But also that is part of the strategy, right? Also that is just part of the strategy. You just have to keep executing it and stay consistent, I guess. Yeah. Lamin, welcome to the channel, my friend. Okay. Luckily, though, if we pull back, the target is massive. It's still the 23s, which is the monthly lows right now. Yeah. The monthly lows already. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely stick to this though. Yeah. What's that level? That is the 82. So 82 minus 17 is 65. $81, sorry. Plus 81 plus 17, sorry. 98, 98, 98, 98. Let's see what the dollar is doing. Yeah, you see? That's what I'm saying with the dollar. That is what I'm saying with the dollar. Every time when it pulls back, guess what's gonna happen? Retracement. Respecting it. So it looks like it's gonna dump, and then nope, it's gonna come back up again. So don't trust the dollar now at the moment. We can't trust the dollar right now. Yeah, see? 98. Sell limit, boom. Okay, sell limit set. I don't know why I'm so confused today. I'm not confused anymore. It's pretty clear right now. When I say I'm confused right now, we're clearly kind of a bearish bias, but it's just about the setup, the right setups. Any chance you could start 30 minutes earlier? The volume is always the highest right before when you start the stream. Yes, I can definitely do that. If I don't go to bed at 5 a.m. in the morning. 5:30 actually today. So I had the stream. Then I had in the night an event in a group. And then I did some work. I'm not going to say what I'm doing, but a lot of work. A lot of coding. A lot of coding, a couple hours of sleep, and now the stream. Building something sick though, absolutely amazing. You guys are all gonna love it. Possible to move the orders down if price continues to move down? Yes, just have to keep pushing we have to keep moving the volume profile a bit lower. It's gonna give us levels a bit lower too. So yeah, just need to keep a close eye on the volume profile, see where the volume distributes, and then we pull back into the value area. And then we'll look for shorts. So it could be if we drop lower, then we might have to push down our limit order slightly, but not by much. What happened to the old Discord? The old Discord right now is closed because we had like a split. I can talk about it a little bit. We had like a split. I was in like a partnership and I hosted the community for years. The partnership unfortunately ended for a variety of reasons I cannot really talk about. And the guys went to a Telegram group, another group. And I started streaming on YouTube again. And then I decided to continue to build on that and start from there. And that's why we started a new Telegram group right now, a free group. That's why I have a small community, very small. But it was a long 4 years, I would say. A long 4 years of hundreds of analysis videos, weekly analysis, you name it, everything was in there. For years. A lot of work went into this. I couldn't understand the monthly low. Why you marked out there is no monthly low there? Why you marked out there is no monthly low there? Yes, there is. It's the low of the month. It is the low of the month. Or am I wrong? Am I completely wrong? June. Yeah, it's the low of the month. The low of the month. Yes, sir. Did you get the Rolex fixed? It is fixed. No, it's actually not fixed. It still happens. Every month, it loses 2 or 3 minutes. And then you have to reset it again. How did you remember that, by the way? How did you remember that? Dun, 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 dun. I think someone is selling your book online for $30. I'm not surprised if that will be the case. Luckily, you can get the book for free though. You don't have to buy anything. Okay, you can click on this link and you can just get it for free. Yeah, it's crazy, but people do that. I don't know if they sell it though. I don't think they sell it. Why would someone buy it? I mean, maybe they do actually. Maybe they fill in the name on Google and then they see it and then they buy it. But that would not be smart if it's free. I talk about it all the time. I say that it's free all the time. Like, yeah. Okay, well, we're seeing a bit of a retracement now, right? That's a bit of a retracement right there. That is a bit of a retracement. Ja. Michael, bring the Rolex to me. I'm a watchmaker in Sydney. We might go to Australia as well, right? What do you think? We should get out of Bali soon. Visit Australia or something as well. Yeah. It's not that far away, by the way. Bali, Australia. It's like, what, 4 hours? 3 hours? It's 3 or 4 hours, max. 5? Oh. Where are the moderators? We might need some new moderators in the chat soon. But I like you guys. You guys are chill. You guys are chill. Let me recalibrate right now the profile, the volume profile for a second. I think that we have, I think the very low is moving down slightly. Yeah, I think so. So we have the 80 here. Need to push it down to the 80. I have to push it down to the 80. Yeah, I hope that wasn't a pullback. Nope, I agree. Why don't you use deep charts? I love deep charts, but I love the exit charts more. Okay, I love the exit charts more. It's so good, man. It's so clean. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. Look at this huge order sitting right below there. This is the target, by the way. The Monday lows we talked about is gonna be when all those orders are eaten away. There are a lot of orders sitting below, and there are not a lot of orders sitting above. That should tell you something. That should tell you that the market is not ready yet to reverse. The moment you start, this is the number one thing about macro reverses that I've seen in the order flow, is that whenever the market really wants to shift, the orders shift too. So for example, instead of looking at this, oh, this is support. No. We look at it differently. We look at it the way from a perspective of orders are sitting all below, barely any orders are sitting above. So the liquidity, the market interest is sitting lower. That could simply mean that in this trend that we're going to keep trying to fill those orders consistently right now. Fill those orders until the higher time frame starts to show something different, until less and less orders are getting placed here and more orders are getting stacked higher. That transition will happen at some point. That will give you that's the biggest warning sign of telling the market, you telling the market or telling the market to you, saying, yo, now you have to be careful because a lot more interest is gonna be there. on top. A lot more people are looking to place orders higher. And it kind of works like a magnet or something like that. So it's very interesting. So the exit charts represent these limit orders, or these passive orders, I better say, very well. As well as the footprint. So it's in my opinion really, really good. It's kind of your deep DOM and your deep charts, or your deep DOM and your footprint in one. Or your bookmap pretty much and your footprint in one, right? And that's why I use futures as well, because I can then predict the levels very well. And then I can put gold right here next to it, because most of you guys trade gold spot. So that's perfect. I can please everyone and myself as well, which is great. So we have gold here. And then I have the futures chart here, which is usually the most accurate data that I can find. And then we have a little futures box on the right. And a gold spot chart on the left. So it's perfect. Place a sell limit order. Already done. It's on the left. It's on the right side. Do you see it? I hope you can see it. What time is the stream tomorrow? Earlier, yeah. 9, maybe 8:30. 8:30 p.m. Yeah. Exit charts is not free, no. It's not free. I'm not a promoter of it, so I don't have a code for you or something, or an affiliate code for you or something like that. It's just something that I personally use. Look at the dollar. Flying. Flying. Wow. Why is gold not dropping just as hard as the dollar is flying right now? Look at the dollar. Look at the dollar. And look at gold. Gold is at the same level. This is the breakout of the dollar here. Look at gold. It's the same candle, right? Wow. Wow. Dollar is unstoppable, man. Unstoppable right now. Wow. Wow. We haven't even broken the lows yet. On gold, we have not even broken the lows, whereas on the dollar, we're absolutely flying right now. What was this candle low? 2240. 2240. 2240. 2240. Look at that. Dollar flying, gold has not even broken the lows. But if the dollar keeps going, it keeps going, right? It's crazy. I was wondering what happened when gold made that little pullback here. Let me know where you guys are watching from right now. Let me know what you guys are watching. South Americans or what? South Americans in the chat? Argentina, Paraguay, Sweden, USA, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia. Poland, wow. Morocco. Okay, who's gonna win? Who's gonna beat? Who's better in football? The Netherlands or Morocco right now? Let me know. What do you think? Morocco versus the Netherlands, what do you think? We have a lot of Moroccans in the Netherlands. That's what I'm asking. You know what I mean? That's what I'm asking. Brazil, Bangladesh, Thailand. Nice. We love a little bit of Thailand now and then, occasionally. Indonesia. Okay, awesome. Selamat pagi. Wow. We're global, my friends. We are global. We're global. We are global. Anyways, what I think is very interesting to watch right now at the moment is the following. And that is that gold is not breaking structure to the downside. But the dollar is absolutely flying. That should tell you something. That should tell us something. What's going to drive gold down now? Not the dollar. Dollar is flying. Gold is holding structure. Look at that low. Look at that line that I marked out here. That's the line at 20 to 40. That is the low on gold, 20 to 40. Look what happened on the dollar since that. Look at where gold is now. So, is this the pullback we're waiting for? Could be, man. It could be. Is there a chance you pull back? Yeah, definitely. If the dollar goes up that much, then and gold does not push down anymore, it does not break down. You have to kind of understand that, like, this is kind of like there is an absorption now happening around here. You see that? Especially if the dollar explodes the way it did, and gold is not breaking that level or lows right now. I mean, it's definitely something to watch out for. Yeah. But would I buy after the monthly lows are taken out? I think so, yeah. I think so. I think so. If we would pull back to like the 4,000 or like the 4,000 area, we take those out, those monthly lows, and we tapped into the 4,000 area. I think, yeah, I would definitely watch that. But again, it's all about the impulse, right? So even if you come down, it's all about the first initial impulse, and then the pullback, right? For the push higher. Like that will be the only consideration, right? It's the impulse move, and then the retracement of the impulse, and then preferably trading above the previous daily point of control or the previous daily areas or whatever. But it's that impulse move that's gonna make the difference, or gonna give you the confirmation. Let's look at gold on the lower time frame. Yeah, you can already see on the lower time frame too right now at the moment that we're holding support now. We're seeing a lot of selling, but no more follow through. The dollar is pushing up so hard. This could be the pullback, you know? This could be the pullback. This could be the pullback, but also, yeah, it could be the pullback. Let's see. What are we waiting for? We're waiting for, the push into the 80s and then the sell-off to the Monday lows. Pretty much. Truth Detective. We had viewers from all over the world, but India had the most unique viewers in the chat. The next one was Pakistan, followed by Sri Lanka, Morocco, Bangladesh. I think it's because of the Asian session too. But your name represents your image very well. Truth Detective. You're definitely a detective out there. But I'm impressed with gold right now at the moment, to be honest. Like, I'm impressed. Like, if the dollar can shoot up like that, like we're seeing right now, and gold does not care, okay? Gold does not move and does not break structure and does not create a new lower low. When the dollar breaks out. So, for example, when the dollar does this, gold is tanking, okay? Gold is just tanking, it's dropping. When the dollar did this, gold dumps. But now that the dollar actually shoots up aggressively with a lot of volume and a lot of momentum, like we're seeing now, gold can't even break structure. So that tells us that the end is near. That could tell that the end is near. And that if you think about counter trend trading, that we are close to a buy in the short term. Low risk buy, very low risk buy. Let's see if it holds here. It's funny to watch, interesting to watch. Do you use CVDs? Yes. You see that? Price is creating what? Lower lows, or it's flat. CFDs create higher highs, but that shows that there's just pretty much still an absorption. So, you know. Dollar, 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 dollar. What are you trying to do? If you've placed a sell order, I've placed a limit order. Yes, a sell limit order. But we're depending right now where we are and how far we are going. If you break structure, we have to move down. Yeah, that shifts the paradigm, right? A little bit. What would be a long trade? I mean, if we hold this, right? And if the dollar can absolutely not... Look at the dollar, right? Look at how much the dollar has been pushing up higher, 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 higher. I marked out a white line here. Okay, let's make it white. Right there. That is the dollar since 10:40 p.m. New York time. This is gold since 10:40 New York time. Okay? Do you see the difference? Do you see how they're usually like negatively correlated? And how right now you can actually see that gold has not even broken the lows yet and the dollar has been flying. If the dollar makes a pullback, let's say it's going to do something like this, right? And it's going to maybe continue to go higher, whatever. But it's going to make the pullback. If gold can break the lows when the dollar is flying, then it will definitely push higher when the dollar is tanking. That's just how we are using gold and the dollar as a tool of reference right now. So if the dollar starts slowing down, then this is actually, and we're holding that level, this is actually a great sign that that gold might be looking to pull back. But that's why we're watching the dollar as well. And you can see how it's holding and respecting it. You see that? Then the question is, do you buy the pullback? If that's the case, if you're so confident, why don't you then just buy the pullback? And that's actually a great point. But I think we have to see the impulse. We have to see like an impulse move or something like that. On the lower time frame. Lorenzo, you're backtesting gold. Which months are usually bearish? Love it. Love that question. Let me show you something around that. That's a good question. I have a lot of data on that, actually. If you want to know that, if you want to see it. It's also in my book, but I can also show you here. Okay. This is gold This is the gold chart for you on a weekly time frame. In the month of Q1, all right, the first quarter of the year. All right, Q4 and Q1, okay? Look at gold here, Q4 and Q1. This is 2020 what? This is 2022, okay? This is 2022, gold goes up for weeks. Q1, okay, the first quarter of the year. 2023, gold goes up for weeks. 2024 goes up for weeks. 2025 goes up for weeks. 2026, what did we do? Major push up, remember? The first quarter of the year is the most bullish quarter of the year. After that comes Q4, okay? Q4, the second most bullish quarter of the year, all right? This is just proven in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026 continuously, okay? That is what the data says, at least. Now let's look at Q2 and Q3. Same year, okay? Same year. 2021. Flat. 2022. Down. 2023. Down. 2024. Down. 2025 was a big range. 2026 is happening now. It's down. So to answer your question, according to the weekly cycles, Q4 and Q1 are the most profitable months on gold. And Q2 and Q3 are the least profitable months on gold. Okay? And usually I'm like, yeah, but cycles, you know, the thing is the market is always different. The market always changes. No, it doesn't, man. It does not. These cycles are a real thing. Don't ask me why, but it is a real thing. It's a real thing. These cycles are real. So if we can assume that, right? Because the historical data says so for the last like 10 years or so, it's super accurate. Then it could be that this is the downfall. We're now heading into what? Q4, Q3. Okay, we're not far away from Q3. We might have a bearish Q3 and maybe a reversal at the end of Q3. And it makes total sense according to what we're seeing right now. It's aligned perfectly. So what are you drinking? Gin and tonic at 11:30 a.m. Now we're drinking Earl Grey. Well, we want to know now if the dollar is going to pull back, right? If gold can break out and do something like this. So we break out, we pull back, and we might make the pullback we want. If we see a proper push and a pullback, I actually might buy it, to be honest. But we have to break structure on the lower low time. We have to break the point of control here. We have to break that red line you see here. If we can break that, and we break above that, I'm actually thinking about buying. As crazy as it sounds right, as crazy as it looks right now, I would do that because the fact that if the dollar can push up so much and gold cannot break the lows here, then the only thing that needs to happen for gold to go up is the dollar dropping a little bit. It's called relative strength, relative strength. If we break the lows and we close below this, then no matter what, buyers are out of sight and we're just gonna probably just tank to the lows. That's how I can imagine now. Because the dollar can just keep going up and keep going up, right? Forever. So hopefully we see a little push. Yeah, you see that? We're holding up. Nope. Wow, the support though is crazy on gold right now, huh? The support is crazy here. Wow. Lorenzo, which broker do you recommend? I'm in Indonesia. I have two brokers that I use. I use Vantage and I use PU Prime. You see that? Wow, look at that. Look at gold holding. Dollar is gonna drop and gold is gonna hold. Like, it can't break the lows. So that's the impulse move, actually. There we go. Yeah, the point of control is strong. That's why if you close above that, it's actually really a sign of strength. The chances if we can close above the point of control that we will try to push higher is just so much bigger. Why not buy now? Because we haven't closed above the point of control. but I'm actually considering a pullback trade if he closes above this. I'm keeping my sell limit open, that's for sure. I'm looking to sell. I'm looking to sell gold, continuously sell gold. Until the monthly lows now. But what I can say right now is that we are just holding up and forming a lot of support at the moment on gold here. A lot of support. And you can see clearly that we can't break the lows here. At least for now, we cannot break it. And at the same time, while the dollar has been pushing up so much, gold is not breaking down anymore. For now. With only volume, you can't see the difference between accumulation, observation, accommodation, and observation. You mean accumulation and distribution? Accommodation and observation. Accumulation and distribution, yeah, I do agree. But you can use the volume profile to understand where the most volume was traded and if price breaks above or below it and closes above or below that. That usually signals that buyers are simply in control. Right? Most volume traded, most interest at that level, price is above that. Buyers in control. Buyers below that, sellers are in control. It's actually a really good indication using the volume profile. Yeah, right now we're holding up, right? We have the monthly lows here. That is a major target. Major target. Monthly lows. It's not that far away anymore. Now we're breaking out. How surprising is that? That gold is going higher. That we closed above this. As the dollar is reversing now. So gold could not break lower when the dollar was pushing. But now that the dollar is pushing down just a little bit, gold breaks out. That's called relative strength, right? That's something that we use. So that means right now, I think that we have to watch. And really wait for that retracement inside of this area. And just, I might take a long, to be honest, guys. Right now. I might take a long. A quick scalp, small stop loss, see if it works. And see if you could trade towards that area. I want to give it a try. I want to give it a try. Small trade, small risk. For hopefully a larger push down later. Still 2-1, which is good. If it gets filled. But this seems to me like the reversal for gold now. first counter trend setup in a while though, to be honest. So what are we looking for? I'm looking for a move down and impulse back up. Now we have a little bit of a confirmation here and a sell off to the monthly lows. Counter trend trading is always risky. So the only way I would do that is if I see something we can't break a level, which we are seeing now, and the dollar is retracing. Yeah, I'm gonna take this, guys. Can this hold? Absolutely yes. This could absolutely be the pullback. So usually I don't really trade like pullback trades. Okay, like if I would say I look for sells and I usually wait for the pullback and then I trade down, and I'm not taking the buys because it's just risky. But I feel that I now see something clearly in the chart which shows me that gold is getting absorbed here. That gold does not want to break these levels. The dollar shoot up. Gold could not break the lows ever since. Now the dollar is slowing down. Now gold is breaking structure. Yeah. That just signals a pullback. That signals buys. Right now. That signals buys. Yeah, watch the dollar tank right now. Watch the dollar tank. I'm not joking. Watch the dollar break down here. Boom. That's what I'm saying, man. Yo, what's happening, bro? How are you? Good? Yeah, you want to come on the stream? You want to say hi? Yeah, say hi to my best friend.
Hey, bro.
He's helping us, yes. Keeping the house in check. Keeping the house in check. Okay. Yeah, look at that breakout, guys. Look at that breakout. Yeah, that's the thing about the dollar and about gold. It is actually exactly how it should be. It is exactly how it should be. You want to see that break, especially the dollar tanking right now. You see that? It's the fake move of the dollar before the real move down. That's how it looks like, at least. But yeah, anyways. It's just a quick scalp. You can be greedy. Because we're in a counter trend right now, right? That's it. Yeah, we're gonna be very, how do you say that? Aggressive with our profit taking here as well. Very aggressive. Boom, beautiful closure here. Beautiful closure here. I'm gonna take TP1 here though. TP1. Yeah. All right, TP1 here. TP1. Ah, shit. You know what I did? You know what I had on by accident? I had on by accident my one-click trading. So we closed it. We closed it. $700. We closed the trade, $700. That's why I love just executing on my phone and on MT5 and not on the computer. Because I always forget to turn off the one-click trading. Just should have done this on my phone. Because I do expect a bit of a push up here, to be honest with you. But I closed the trade, personally, okay? Just so you know. closed in full. Yeah. Anyways, quick scalp, I guess. 700. But yeah, I hope you guys, the reason for the buys, by the way, right now, like the reason for this move, right? It is what? It's a 100 pip move, 115 pip move. Actually, it was a longer. It actually was a 170 pip move from the bottom. But the main thing that gave it away was just very simple, actually. You have that impulse down. You know that at some point you need the retracement, right? For like a sell-off. At some point you know it's coming. And then what happens is that gold is not able to break the lows anymore. It couldn't break it here. It couldn't break it there, right? It couldn't break it here. And the dollar was flying. That's a sign. That's a sign that there is an absorption of sellers. Sellers were selling, but sellers were not succeeding. Look at all that red below here, right? Sellers were trying to sell, but it was not succeeding. It was not going down. And then what happened was, the moment we started to go from like a push down towards the range, we use a tool called the fixed range volume profile, and then it measures the volume of the range right there. And then it breaks above the red line, the point of control. And then the moment it does that, it shoots up, right? And that's the moment when the dollar drops. So when the dollar comes up, gold does not want to come down. And when the dollar drops down a little bit, gold starts to come up. So that's why that's the only consideration for me to buy aggressively in a downtrend, let's say. Okay? In a counter trend setup. That's the only reason for me to say, okay, if we break higher, we might go and push up. That's it. And it's still a quick trade, a quick scalp. I would never hold the trade forever because we're in a downtrend, right? The overall trend is bearish. But in any bearish trend, you make pullbacks. This is not a good confirmation. This is not a good confirmation to buy, but this was a good confirmation to buy. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense, guys, in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about that. So you understand the difference between this, and this move. It's different. It's different from these two pullbacks right there. Yeah, we did close the trade, so now we're just patiently waiting for like price to either pull back again, maybe it respects it again, and we go up. If this is the high, like to be real honest, I think that we might come up a little bit deeper, but who knows? But the sell limit is still there. The sell limit is still placed at the 80. And I'm not really gonna remove the sell limit now. I think the sell limit is good. I think the sell limit needs to be where it needs to be, you know? And that is there. You were lucky you misclicked. I would have taken profit there anyways. I would have taken profit there. It would have been a TP1 there. Yeah, especially because it's counter trend trading. My TP1s are much more aggressive in counter trends than in trends. In trends, I let price run for a while. The problem with sometimes what I face as well when I'm trading with the trend is that I don't take profits early, that I don't take TP1s. And then you get things like this. I get into like really good entries. Price does something like this. And I have a target in mind. The price gets there. I'm up 200 pips. I don't take profits. And price comes back to my entry. But again, in this case, we were breaking out to the upside. So it was quote unquote, maybe in the lower time frame, a little bit of a counter trend trade too, because I was shorting. So maybe that had something to do with it. That's right. So I had to take profits there in this setup that I talked about on stream on the Monday. I had to take profits there, but I did not do it. So sometimes when you see a big move like that, a big impulse, and I trade short, I should have been more aggressive at taking profits there. Yeah, but I did not do it at the time, for example, right? So it's very important to take profits at the right moment, especially when you're, let's say, counter trend. So let's say price breaks out, it does something like this and it pulls back. It creates a strong impulse, like a strong impulsive move, and it pulls back. And you're shorting here. I would still take profits early because you could just do this. But if you are in a really clear bound trend, for example, like this, and there's a clear target, I usually let price, you know, do its thing and then only take profit when I really see that we're holding support and stuff. How to spot determined TP levels? You have higher time frame supply and demand zones. That is a major level. You have major lows and highs. You have weekly lows, monthly lows. This is the monthly low. You have a weekly low. You have a daily low, daily highs, things like that. Don't have to really overcomplicate that. Just daily highs, daily lows, point of controls, supply and demand zones. I'm sure a couple of guys were in here. So did you guys take profit there? If not, we might still pull back and come back up again. But we have to watch that. Thing is, I can't, by the way, tell you, yo, you should buy now or you should sell now. I would get sued. What I can do is I'm buying here, I'm selling here. You know what I mean? That's allowed. So. It's funny how that works, right? For entertainment purposes only. For entertainment purposes only. Yes. Well said. To be honest, now looking back at it, it was actually not a bad take profit point. It was not that bad. Looking at this This impulse there, not bad. Closed around there, closed around that level, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, that's scalping 101. Scalping 101. To be honest, I think we might find support again soon. I don't think that the dollar is done yet. Why did you choose this as a selling zone? Yeah, main reason is just simply because we're looking at the pullback trade and we're using the volume profile of that initial swing, that initial impulse, right from the high to the low, and we have a nice gap in there. Okay, we call it a low volume node and the low value area low. And that's usually what happens, is that price will come back to test the what we call the value area. Okay, the value area, so the high to the low, this is the value area, because this is in that swing where the most volume was traded, from the swing high to the swing low. Okay, and then we have the value area, that's the highlighted zone, that's where more volume has been traded. So usually what tends to happen is price at some point will retrace back when we experience a pullback into the high value area, the value area, okay, where we were operating in fair value, right? And it's going to test price, and if you get accepted, it will retrace back into it. If you get rejected, it will try to retrace back into it, but it gets rejected. And in a downtrend where there is a very clear target sitting below the monthly lows, it's actually a very good level to look for continuation shorts from, pretty much. So that zone right there aligns perfectly. And then we have things like order flow and stuff, which I don't want to go too deep in right now, but order flow, critical levels and support and stuff as well. So yeah. One hour closed doji. Yes. Again. again. Second time. You're right. You are correct. Are we gonna buy again? I mean, the dollar is pulling back quite hard now. I honestly think that scalp we took was the best scalp possible for buys. Unless it was the absolute bottom here, which we didn't buy. We bought above the point of control. It's a 100 pip move. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, that was actually the best setup, the best buy setup in a downtrend. Lorenzo, do you only take your entries on the 5 minute with higher time frame confluences? Do you also take entries on the hourly time frame? I take entries on the hourly as well. Yeah. But look, this all depends on the order flow right here. If you look at this candle, this is like a huge area of resistance. So the moment the hourly candle opens up and it flips into this resistance and I'm bearish, I would sell here. That's an hourly entry, right? If I want to have a confirmation, because I'm not really 100% sure, I would go to the lower time frame. Inside of that zone, this is the hourly. I would wait for the lower time frame, like the 5 minute or 15 minute, and I would look for a confirmation for sells. Yo, by the way, guys, you know what just happened? What I just realized. 1 second. Is this correct? Ooh, look at that. 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 Yes, sir. Very nice, guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. I love the ace sessions with you guys as well. Super nice, super nice. Love it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yo, I think that quick buy scalp was a good setup. Obviously, I'm waiting for the bigger trade, guys. That's it. That's the conclusion. I'm waiting for the bigger impulse. I was actually hoping for the larger retracement. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of because I started streaming later today. We missed out on this like larger impulse to the downside. So the only chance that I had was either take a buy counter trend, which we saw clearly was a good setup in my opinion, because it was just a really good confirmation. Right, dollar breaking out, gold not breaking lows, dollar pulling back, gold breaking highs. It's a 100 pip move, right? It's easy to still take that setup, even in a counter trend scenario. But now we're pulling back down, and now the dollar is retracing already. So either we're gonna pull back up again. Right, I'm gonna sell. I'm gonna hold on to my sell limit, number one. Okay, my sell limit is still there. You can see it right there on the chart on the right. It's still, it's actually there. There is definitely a chance we'll try to get there, and that we will potentially go and look for this range, and then hopefully we sell off and we actually push down again for one more sweep. So we create what we so call a bear flag, or how do you call that? A bear flag. I think so, right? A bear flag right there, right? So that means a series of breaks, right? And then whoop, this sell-off, the breakdown, things like that towards the monthly lows right there. So that is a sell limit that I'm not going to delete right now. Okay, I'm not going to remove it. If we break down now, right? If the dollar is going to say, you know what, the dollar is just pulling back. We had that like retracement on the dollar, and the dollar is just ready to shoot higher again. Then the gold is going to break down and we close below, right? And we actually do close below at this time. Yeah, then I think the next logical level is going to be the 40s and then the 20s, right? So that is also a sell that could come to fruition if we close below the lows. But what I think you should really think about and hold into account right now at the moment is how strong gold is holding here when the dollar is shooting up. Okay, it is actually a really good sign for gold. It seems that gold is not really willing to accept lower prices right now, even when the dollar is like this strong here. Look at the dollar again; it's going, and gold is not really trying to really push down. But the closure will invalidate that video. The closure will be invalidated, and that means there is. The next possible target is the monthly lows at 4023. Okay. Yeah, so selling zone there or closure below for confirmation there. The initial impulse buy was there. You wanted to see the immediate pullback, in my opinion, for buying here now again. But it could be that this holds and we go up. Okay. But that's not something I'm going to take. I'm going to wait for either the pushback up now and let it be, and I'm going to sell, or I would wait for the breakdown and then I would say, okay, we lose this level now. We held support strong. We're now losing it. And the dollar is consistently creating higher highs and higher lows. And it seems that the next logical target could absolutely be that we just simply go to the daily time frame and we start targeting these monthly lows right there. Okay, the monthly lows on the daily. Keep in mind, we could not break above and close above this high right there. Okay, we could not close above this. We could not break this zone. We tried, but we couldn't. We failed to break this area of resistance. And we swept actually the highs during the FOMC. And now the impulse move towards the FOMC manipulation was here. So how easy could it be that we simply would trade towards and take out those lows and go for the lows as well? That would make total sense in a downtrend on the higher time frame, right? It would make total sense right now. The dollar is unstoppable. Look at the dollar. It has not broken structure properly ever since we had a one retracement and we immediately got bought up again. And on the weekly time frame on the dollar, we're breaking out right now. Look at that. This is the weekly time frame on the dollar. We are breaking resistance. You see that? We're breaking resistance right now. This is strong resistance on the dollar. We're breaking out on the weekly time frame. So it makes total sense that this could be a clear target for the dollar to really pay attention to, in my opinion, and to really look at. And that's why sells, I think, are still relevant. But in order to sell, you need a sell setup. And for me, the risk to reward needs to be favorable, because you can't predict the market correctly. You need to have an edge. You need to predict the market with an edge. You need to have a proper risk to reward strategy, unless it's a quick scalp like we had before. And that comes from pullbacks, I guess, or confirmations with more momentum down. Okay. Hope that makes sense, my friend. So I think that makes sense. I think that sums it up quite well. We have been streaming for around 2.5 hours. I think it's pretty clear what needs to happen right now in order for gold to potentially get towards that low, which we talked about, and all the reasons why I think it makes sense to get there still. And yeah, the setup could be the pullback, or it could be the breakdown, right? All right. The breakdown for further shorts. Okay. Something like that. Anyways, still a $700 setup in like what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I want to thank you guys. All right. Thank you guys for popping on the show every day with us here during the ASIN sessions right now. I really appreciate this. Almost 1,000 likes. We reached our goal today, 140,000 subs. That's amazing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you updated in Telegram. Yesterday, I didn't place any further updates because yesterday there was nothing to update. Price was just tanking. It was not really pulling back down towards my areas of interest, whatever. So I don't know. Like, I couldn't really update you on that, you know. But for now, if I see anything like this at the moment, I could update you very clearly because it's pretty obvious and clear what we're looking for in both cases, in both scenarios, by the way, as well. So in order to join that, you need to join the Telegram group, okay? And you can click on the link in the description. It's a free group that I created a week ago. It's very new. It's a brand new group. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to give out the free juice. And also, I want to prevent a lot of scammers, you know what I mean, that have these fake Telegram groups. And I want to outcompete the scammers. Yes, sir. All right. You can join them in the chat. I will put a link in it right now, the Telegram, for further updates around stream setups. And educational content comes very soon. Some quick snippets. All right. Some quick, beautiful snippets around what we have here. Okay. Educational content as well. How to draw the volume profile correctly. Why? Maybe some breakdowns when I'm not streaming. You name it. You could expect anything in this channel. Okay. All right. Yeah, much love, my G's. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna work on a couple things here. I have a couple things to do. I have a couple calls scheduled. And I need to go to the gym as well. Yes, I have a lot of things to do. All right. Thank you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow again. And I'll keep you in the loop in Telegram. Yeah. I wish you an amazing rest of your session. And scalp your way in or out if you need to. But the larger pushes are, in my opinion, so short. Okay. Much love, fam. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow again. Yeah. Peace. Thank you.